Hello and welcome to Leeroy Gaming, where today I am providing you with a special edition of my Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous class guide. Specifically as a request from one of my viewers, Olivier. Hope I didn't butcher that. He requested in my comments section of my videos to take a closer look at the bloodlines for the Bloodragers. So the Bloodragers are a unique class that's kind of a part sorcerer with bloodlines and plus barbarian. So the Abyssal bloodlines, unlike the bloodlines, how they impact sorcerers, impact Bloodragers differently because it directly impacts them while they are blood raging. You also get special abilities and that impact you even when you're not blood raging, as you'll see. But more specifically, it makes the blood raging aspect of the class very, very unique. So we will be looking in depth at every single one that's unique, rather. Now, as my other videos, because these are in depth, I hope you guys appreciate and like the level of depth I'm going for you here. I will be doing my best to provide timestamps for you in the description below. Because this is just one class, you will now see timestamps for the different bloodlines. Now, if you guys have, as a side note here, any special requests, I will be going over all the classes and creating as much content as I can to give you in-depth looks on the character creation and the leveling process for these classes. But because I'm only one human being on this tiny little channel, there's a lot of content to go through. If you personally would like to see a very specific class before others, note in the comments of my videos. On any of my videos, I do take a look at all the comments. I respond to all of them. And as you guys will see here, hopefully, I've basically responded to every request and kind of gone out of order because I want to provide the content that you guys want. Now, without further ado, remember, like and subscribe if you're loving what I do here for you guys. And let's dive into the bloodlines. Now, we will be starting with the Abyssal bloodline. With the Abyssal bloodline, at some point, let's see here. There we go. Generations ago, demons spread its filth into the essence of your bloodline. While it doesn't manifest in all your kin, in those moments when you're blood raging, you embody its terrifying presence. The power of the abyss courses through your veins, causing horrific transformations during your blood rage. Bonus feat options of Cleave, Great Fortitude, Improve Bull Rush, Improve Sunder, Intimidating Prowess, Power Attack, and Toughness. Also, bonus spells of Ray and Enfeeblement 7th, Bull Strength at 10th, Rage 13th, and Stone Skin on the 16th. So let's take a look at the exact progression. Now, at level 1, we're going to get Claws, and these will be, as you will see here, evolving. So you get them at level 1, 2 natural attacks. Then, as you'll see, they will progress. So they start at 1d6 damage. At 4th, they're going to be considered as magic weapons for purpose of overcoming magic resistance. At 8th, damage increases to 1d8. And at 12th, they become flaming weapons with an additional 1d6 points of fire damage on hit. So 1d8 plus 1d6 per claw. Now, next feature here is Demon Resistance. So you're going to get at 8th, you gain resistance 5 to acid, cold, and fire. And at 10th, they increase to 10, or at 16th. And as this was confirmed to me by Olivier, so this means the very first 5, or then later the first 10 damage you would take of acid, cold, or fire gets negated. Next feature, you're going to get Abyssal Blood Rage. So at 12th level, the morale bonus to attack and damage rolls granted by your blood rage increases by 1. But the penalty for AC becomes -4 instead of -2. And at 16th, you get a bonus increases to 2. And at 20th, to 3. So you get, obviously you become more susceptible. You're even more kind of one-sided, not caring as much about your defense, but you're just ready to open a can of whoop ass. All right, next, you still get your normal blood rages. I think we've gone over that previously. Now let's take a look. There's even more features. So I believe this is the claw progression. Yep, you get the Ray of Enfeeblement. Then you get the Bull Strength again at 9th. You get your Claws, Stone Skin, And here it is. At level 20, there's another unique element, demonic immunities. You become immune to electricity and poison. And this is constant. So in Blood Rage and out of Blood Rage. You also get demonic bulk. So at 4th, when entering the Blood Rage, you can choose to grow, and again, choose to grow one size category larger than your base size as an enlarged person, even if you aren't humanoid. I'm assuming that lasts as long as you are Blood Raging. And then you get demonic aura at 16th. When entering Blood Rage, you can choose to exude an aura of fire. Aura is 5-foot burst centered on you and deals 2d6 plus your constitution modifier points of fire damage to creatures that end their turn within it. So that's pretty amazing. Consistent AoE burst. So really good translation from the Pathfinder table D&D like game, right? So that is the Abyssal Bloodline. Now let's take a look. Let's take a look at Arcane. So while others of your kin may be powerful wizards and sorcerers, the eldritch nature of blood coursing through your veins transforms you into a spell-breaking terror. When you Blood Rage, arcane powers transform you into an arcane juggernaut who can cut down even the most careful caster. Bonus feat access of combat reflexes, disruptive, improve initiative, iron will, power attack, combat casting, and arcane strike. And as we'll see to the right here, we'll be getting bonus spells of magic missile, invisibility, lightning bolt, and dimensional door. Now looking at the other progression, when it comes specifically to Blood Rager powers, let me just double check. These are the normal Blood Rages, so that does not change. Or Blood Rager powers. Arcane. Let's take a look. Here we go. Disruptive Blood Rage is at level 1. First level, enemies within 10 feet of you have a -2 penalty on concentration checks. Now this stacks with that's granted by Disruptive Feat. And remember, that is one of the bonus feats you get access to. Disruptive right here. So you can be super disruptive. You're going to get at level 4, Arcane Blood Rager. So at 4th, when you enter a Blood Rage, you can choose one of the following spells and apply effects to yourself. Blur, protection of arrows, or resistance energy. And you choose your energy type. And I believe this is kind of like a toggle that you're going to be able to choose. And as you'll see in a second, it's going to stack with other abilities. So it's like having, as long as you're raging, permanent spells impacting you, again, for the duration of the Blood Rage. Then you get that bonus magic missile spell at 7th. Then you get Greater Arcane Blood Rager at 8th. When entering Blood Rage, you can choose to apply the effects of either displacement or haste to yourself. And this is in addition to Arcane Blood Rage. So again, imagine now if you want to go super defensive, stack displacement with blur. Or protection from arrows. If you got, a bunch of, worried about the range damage, which that might actually be very, very good. Then you get the bonus spell of invisibility at 10. At 12, you gain the ability to disrupt enemy casters casting around you. So all enemies, casters in 10 feet of you have to make concentration checks to cast a spell of a difficulty of 15 plus double spell level. You have this ability constant even while not Blood Raging, so that's huge. So you get the passive disruption on top of the active disruption. Get the bonus spell of Lightning Bolt at 13. Dimensional Door at 16th. And then, last but certainly not least, and I love this, True Arcane Blood Rage at 16th level. When entering Blood Rage, you can choose one of the following. You can choose effects to apply to yourself. B-Shape 4, Form of a Dragon 1, or Transformation. And this is in addition to all the other ones. So you can basically be a dragon the entire time you're raging. Or again, turning into one of the beast options. Or go Super Saiyan of transformation basically, while let's say adding haste or displacement, and also blur or protection from arrows or have higher resistances. So again, the ultimate arcane raging killing machine. Very cool, very, very thematic. And the capstone for this this Bloodline is at 16, not even at 20. So you're likely to be able to enjoy this if this game's anything like the Pathfinder Kingmaker, most people finish between level 15 and 17. I'm gonna guess this game's gonna have more content, so it may push you to 20 if you really want to get everything. But that's very, very cool. Next, let's look at Celestial. So, by way of celestial ancestor or divine intervention, the blood of angels fills your body with a holy potency, granting you a majestic visage and angelic powers when you enter your blood rage. Your bloodline grants a number of resistances and changes your form to something angelic and terrible to behold when you blood rage. Bonus feat options: dodge, improved initiative, iron will, mobility, toughness, and weapon focus. And as we'll see, you're going to be gaining automatically the bonus spells of Bless, Resist Energy, Heroism, and Crusader's Edge. Now, we begin with Celestial Resistances. At level 4, you're going to get 5 resistance 5 to acid and cold, and then it's going to increase to 10 at level 12. At level 1, you already get angelic attacks, so your melee attacks are considered good aligned for the purpose of bypassing damage reduction. Furthermore, when you deal damage with a melee attack to an evil outsider, you deal an additional 1d6 point damage. And I'm going to guess, because we are dealing with demons and demonic invasions, this is going to be quite effective in this version of the game. This additional damage stacks with effects such as Align Weapon and those granted by weapons with the Holy Weapon special ability. That's really, really big that this stacks. So basically, in short, no matter what kind of crazy weapons with extra bonuses against evil outsiders, this will always stack on top of it. Again, we get that bonus spell of Bless at 7. Conviction. So at 8th level, once per blood rage, you reroll the first failed skill check or saving throw you just made. I'm guessing this is something because, especially if playing if the real time of pausing, these checks happen automatically, so you may not even realize this is going off, but it sounds like the first time you fail, you get a reroll. So that's kind of cool, and the fact that you don't really have to do anything to get the benefit. Bonus spell of Resist Energy at 10th. I'm going to assume you get to choose which energy source. Wings of the Heaven. So at 12th, when you blood rage, you sprout further wings during blood rage. Now, I don't know if this is purely cosmetic or not. When I looked at some of the other like gain wings effects, and I believe we'll see it with the Draconic ones, I believe it increases your AC, and it may or may not increase your movement and or make it so that difficult terrain you ignore it. That's what I believe it should be, but again, the text doesn't mention it here. Bonus spell of Heroism at 13. Oh, and if anybody plays this and tries it out, do leave a comment for others below, whether you can confirm this or not. At level 16, you get the bonus spell of Crusader's Edge. Also get Angelic Protection. At 16th level, you gain +4 deflection bonus to AC and +4 resistance bonus on saving throws against attacks made or effects created by evil creatures. Again, in this specific game that is so heavily focused on demons, evil creatures, etc., this might come in very, very helpful. And then, if you don't multi-class and you're going full-on Bloodrager at 20th level, you get Ascension. You become infused with the power of the heavens. You gain immunity to acid, cold, and petrification. Also gain resistance 10 to electricity and fire, as well as +4 racial bonus to saving throws against poison. You have these benefits constantly, even while not blood raging. So, lots and lots of very thematic options yet again. Alright, so that is Celestial. Now we're going to look at the dragons. Now these will be very similar, as you see here even by the descriptors. What's going to differ is that the resistant types may change. And let's see here. I believe the spells are going to be the same. Shield. Yep. So it will impact, obviously, the color of your Draconic features. and your resistances may change depending on the effects of which dragon heritage you have. So, at some point in your family history, a dragon interbred with your bloodline. Now, the sublime monster's ancient power fuels your blood rage. The power of dragons flow through you and manifest in a number of ways. Bonus feats: blind fight, cleave, great fortitude, improve initiative, power attack, intimidating prowess and toughness, and we will be getting bonus spells of shield, resist energy, heroism, and fear. Now, looking in depth, we start with draconic resistances. So, at 4th level, you gain resistance 4 against your energy type. So again, depending on which dragon you choose, there's going to be different energy types. Fire, acid dragons, etc., etc. You're also going to get +1 natural armor bonus to AC. And then it's going to stack, increase. So at 8th level, those resistances go to 10, and you get an armor bonus to +2. Oh, interesting. And your natural armor bonus goes to 2. Yep, and then at 16, that bonus to armor goes to +4. So can't go wrong with that. Next, you're going to get the claws. This is similar, it looks like, to the Abyss one. So claws are treated as natural weapons. You get 2 of them. You get to use 1d6 damage, your full strength modifier. Then they're going to, at level 4, consider magic weapons for the purpose of overcoming damage reduction. At 8, they go to 1d8. And then, I guess the unique thing here is at 12, you're going to do an additional 1d6 point of your energy type of damage. So Abyssal had fire always, but this is going to depend on your dragon type. Next, let's see here. As we saw before, so claw progression, there's the bonus shield spell. You get your breath weapon at level 8. So you that you can use once per day. It deals 1d6 points of damage of your energy type per Bloodrager level. Now, does this cap? If this doesn't cap, this means that level 20, this would be a 20d6 point of energy damage. That's insane. Those caught in the area of the breath can attempt a reflex save for half damage. And DC is 10 plus 1/2 your Bloodrager level plus your con modifier. And then the shape is going to depend on your dragon type. So basically, if you don't know, the different dragons are either going to have a conal breath that doesn't go quite as long, or a straight breath that goes really, really far. So at level 16, you can use this ability twice per day, and at 20th, you can use this ability 3 times a day. So, 3 times 20 d6 point of elemental damage to multiple enemies. No problem. Not broken at all. You get your spell resistance bonus spell at 10th. We get dragon wings at 12th. So while you're blood raging, you grow your leathery wings from your back. And again, I'm going to assume that this is like the wings when I've seen it mentioned in other areas, where you get, I believe, 3 AC, and it makes it, I'm not sure if you get a movement bonus, but you also ignore kind of difficult terrains and basically just hovering. So I think you can also avoid traps, etc. And then I believe so. So if anybody sees, again, please confirm in the comments below to help everybody out. Bonus spell of heroism, again, that's at 13. Bonus spell fear at 16. Oh, dragon form. Oh, daddy likes. Side note, I love dragons, and I love dragons in these games. And the idea of, for example, I was gonna be playing when the game releases, sorcerer with basically like a melee sorcerer that focuses on dragon transformations. But without getting fancy, you could do it just with this build, just going Bloodrager Draconic Bloodline here, because at 16th level, when you Blood Rage, you can choose to take the form of your chosen dragon type as former dragon 2. That's big. So we had seen Dragon Form 1 on Arcane. So this is a more powerful version. It's not Dragon Form 3. I believe if you're a sorcerer and you go pure sorcerer, at around level 17, you get Dragon Form 3, which is even more powerful. but it's a bit of a catch-22 because if you go full sorcerer, you're probably not going to have the BAB and other abilities to make you a really, really good dragon. Unless you go like 1 level monk, maybe 2 level paladin, and the rest sorcerer slash, forget the name of it, I think it's Dragon Disciple, but that's for another video. But let's say you don't want to get fancy, you want to keep this simple, you don't want to make it complex, you want to go one class, you want to turn into a badass dragon. This is the way to go. Get automatically a level 16. Whenever you blood rage, you transform and go nuts. Finally, Power of Worms at level 20. You gain immunity to paralysis, sleep, and damage from your energy type. So, for example, if you want to go for the most common type in the game and be one of the dragons that has, fire damage, you're going to have immunity to fire. They're not going to be able to paralyze you or sleep you. And you also gain blind sense with a range of 60 feet. And you have this constantly again, not just when you're blood raging. So, amazing. Let's go Team Dragon. Comment below if you're digging it. Alright, so as I mentioned, this is going to be the same for your black, your blue, your brass, your bronze, copper, gold, red, silver, white, and green dragon. This is big because, again, you get all the evil dragons. And so if you don't know, the chromatic dragons, so the color ones like green, white, red, and so forth, those are the evil dragons. And kind of like the good dragons are going to be like brass dragon, bronze, copper dragon, and gold dragons are the ultimate kind of good guy dragons. Now I'm curious to see, because in this game, one of the mythic pathways, will that be of the golden dragon? So cannot wait. It's not implemented in the beta as of the making of this video, but I cannot wait to see how this could potentially stack. So being a gold dragon, draconic bloodline, Bloodrager, for example, and mythic path for golden dragon, thematic, mwah, love it. Now let's go ahead and move on to elemental. So the power of the elements resides in you, and at times you can hardly control its fury. This influence comes either from an elemental outsider in your family history or from a moment when you or your ancestors were exposed to a powerful elemental force or cataclysm. One of the 4 elements infuses your being, and you can draw upon its power while blood raging. A number of your abilities deal damage and grant resistances based on your element. Bonus feats: cleave, dodge, great fortitude, improved initiative, lightning reflexes, power attack, and weapon focus. And then let's see, bonus spells, as we'll see: burning hands, scorching ray, protection from energy, elemental body 1, and then spells marked with the asterisk, as with burning hands and scorching ray, always deal type of energy damage determined by your element, regardless of the spell's normal effects. In addition, the subtype of the spells changes to match the energy type of the element. So this is big. So instead of, let's say you are an air element, it's going to be burning hands, but it's going to be like electro hands. So that's awesome. Scorching ray would be like electro damage on it, and same with the water, fire, and earth variants. I'm just checking. I'm sure, yeah. So all these are just going to change. The elements will have just the spells, and the other elements will just kind of adapt to the element that you're choosing. Now let's see what we have as far as the full progression. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything up here. I believe these are the normal blood rage powers again. Yep. So level 1, elemental strike. So in this case, it's electricity. First level, 3 times a day, is a swift action. You can imbue your melee attack with elemental energy. For 1 round, your melee attacks deal 1d6 point of additional damage of your energy type. 8th level, you can use this ability up to 5 times a day. At 20th level, all your melee attacks deal this damage, and this ability no longer requires a swift action to activate. So you go full-on elemental mode. Now note, every other bloodline so far gave you claws that would have different effects. This says it imbues your melee attacks. So you could be using two-handers, you can be using any type of weapon. You don't have to be using natural effects because, as you notice, it's not permanent initially. You only can do it a couple rounds a day. Eventually, it does become more awesome as that consistent effect. But, again, it's got the strengths and weaknesses as noted here. Next, level 4, elemental resistances. At 4th level, you gain energy resistance 10 against your energy type. So again, first 10 damage. Here would be electrical, fire elemental, fire, etc. Get your burning hand, electricity, in this case, at level 7. Elemental movement at 8. So at 8th level, your base speed increases by 10 feet, and you gain +2 bonus on saving throws against spells and abilities with your elemental descriptor. Now this is big. So for example, like barbarians, they get these movement bonuses. You get fast movement also here, and automatically as you level at level 1 and just at level 1, sorry. But it looks like this will probably, it's going to stack with the Bloodrager land speed. So by the time you hit level 8, you're going to get +20 extra movement speed, which is great. Scorching Ray at 10. Then we get Power of the Elements at 12. At 12th level, damage of your elemental strike increased to 2d6, and DC of spells with your elemental descriptor increases by 2. So that makes your that 1d6 we talked about, now it's going to be 2d6. And again, if you do, in this case, lightning spells, they're going to be harder to resist. You're going to get protection from energy bonus spell, 13. Elemental Body Air 1 at 16 is the bonus spell. And then you also get Elemental Form at the same level. So once per day when entering a Blood Rage, you can take an elemental form as Elemental Body 4. So this is a pretty advanced elemental body form. I believe this might be the giant size. But the key here is, unlike the dragons and arcane transformations that are active the entire time you Blood Rage, here it very specifically states you can take the form once a day. So once you're done Blood Raging, that one time you can still Blood Rage if you have rounds left, but you're not going to be able to turn into elemental form again. So a bit of a trade-off. And finally, a level 20 elemental body, in this case air, and again this will change depending on your form. At 20th level, elemental power surges through your body. You gain immunity to sneak attack, critical hits, and damage from your energy type, so full immunity. You have this benefit constantly, even while not Blood Raging. You get ultimate cosmic powers! So you're kind of like a genie, but way cooler, and not contained to a bottle. So very, very, very cool. If you basically want to be an elemental raging killing machine, oh well, the elemental bloodline is for you. All right. Next, we get the Fey. So one of your ancestors was Fey, or the Fey realm somehow intermixed with your bloodline. It affects your blood rage in tricky and surprising ways. The power of the natural world saturates your being and manifests itself when you blood rage. So, if you want to roleplay True Blood, the series, here you go. Bonus feat, combat reflexes, dodge, improved initiative, lightning reflexes, mobility, improved lightning reflexes and intimidating prowess, and as we'll see, you're going to get the bonus spells of Entangle, Hideous Laughter, Haste, and Confusion as we level up. Now, full-on progression. Start with all the usual ones. Make sure we don't miss anything. Alright, and then at level 1, we get Confusing Critical. First level, Fey powers course through your attacks. Each time you confirm a critical hit, target must succeed at a will saving throw or be confused for 1 round. DC of this save is equal to 10 plus half your blood rage level plus con modifier. It's a mind affecting compulsion effect. So again, all the more reasons to have a high con here. Then we get Leaping Charger at level 4. At 4th level, you ignore difficult terrain. You can move through it at normal speed, and it does not impede your charge. That's pretty big, because there's nothing more annoying than getting that little X on your character when you're trying to charge, because somewhere there's like 1 foot of difficult terrain in the way. You get Entangle at level 7. Then you get Blurring Movement. So at 8th level, you become Blur of Motion when you move. As long as you move at least 10 feet, you gain the effect of Blur spell for 1 round. So like if we remember, the Arcane line lets you kind of activate Blur the whole time. This is more related to whenever you move. And notice it does not say while blood raging. So this is in, it looks like it's in and out of blood raging. So as long as you keep moving, you're going to be really hard to hit. Hideous Laughter, we get a 10. Then we get Quickling Blood Rage, and this is a toggle. 12th level, while blood raging, you're treated as if you're under the effects of haste. So that's pretty awesome. So again, basically kind of permanent haste while you're blood raging. And then you get the bonus spell Haste at 13. So this is important because this means you can apply it to yourself when you're out of not blood raging, or just cast on other people. You get the bonus spell Confusion at 16. And One with Nature. So at 16, you create creatures of the animal or plant types who come within 15 feet area around you have to make a will save, DC 10 plus half Blood Rager level plus Charisma modifier, or become fascinated. You gain these abilities even while not blood raging. So you can become Snow White, and all the animals come around you, get googly-eyed, and sing Kumbaya. Could also be seen as Tree Hugger Simulator in a way. And then, not to make this sound less cool, but it's a different theme. And then finally, okay, I've clearly pissed off the gods of the Fae, because at 20th you unlock Fury of the Fae. When entering a Blood Rage, all of your melee attacks are considered to have Bane enhancement. This ability doesn't stack with other forms of Bane. So, literally, kind of controlling things, peace-loving in some ways, trickery, avoidance, and then, the Wrath of the Fury comes out at level 20. So there is Fey Bloodline for you. Next, in contrast to Demonic, we have Infernal. And so, for those that you don't know, Abyssal, or kind of basically Demonic, we're talking about chaotic evil. Infernals are very lawful, so it's like the kind of the devils, from my understanding, lawful evil. So different form of evil. The pit lives in your blood. Maybe one of your ancestors was seduced by the powers of hell, or made a deal with a devil, or you played D&D as a teenager. Either way, its corruption sieves within your lineage. When you blood rage, Hellfire infuses your blood with terrifying effects. Bonus feats of Blind Fight, Combat Reflexes, Deceitful, Improved Disarm, Improved Sunder, Intimidating Prowess, and Iron Will. And we will be receiving bonus spells of Protection from Good, Scorching Ray, Fireball, and Shout. Now, let's look at the full progression. We will be getting Infernal Resistances at 4th. Gain Fire Resistance 5, as well as +2 bonus on saving throws against poison. And then at 8th, you're going to get Fire Resistance increased to 10, and a bonus save throw against poison +4. Not sure what the whole connection between poison resistances and devils and demons is. I don't know if anybody knows the thematic reason for poison and specifically, but if you do, comment below to share the knowledge. Now, what do we got here? You also get Hellfire Strike. So Hellfire Strike, level 1, as a swift action up to 3 times a day, can infuse your attacks with Hellfire. Your melee attacks gain the Flaming Weapon special ability for 1 round. And at 12th level, you can use the ability 5 times per day, and the effect is treated as Flaming Burst. So I believe that's like an AoE effect. So very nice, very aggressive. Again, at level 7, we don't get anything unique at level 4, unlike some of the other ones. But at 7, we get the Protection from Good. At level 8, Diabolical Arrogance. At 8th level, you gain +4 bonus on saving throws against enhancement and fear effects. Can't scare the devil. And then level 10, you get Scorching Ray as a bonus spell. Dark Wings, and I really hope they have unique kind of animations for this. So when entering Blood Rage, you sprout bat-like wings from your back. And again, as I mentioned on the other bloodlines that have the wing effects, I hope it has, and I don't know why it's not in these descriptors, but from other descriptors of wings, I've noticed that it's supposed to give 3 AC, I believe, from melee attacks. And you can ignore difficult terrain. It may or may not increase your movement speed, but I believe those elements are supposed to be part of Darkwing's. And again, if you can confirm, do drop a comment below. Bonus spell Fireball at 13 because, of course. And bonus spell Shout, 16. And Hellfire Charge also at 16. When you charge the attack, you make at the end of the charge deals additional fire damage equal to 1d6 per 4 Bloodrager levels you have. So if you're a pure Bloodrager, by level 16, it will be 4d6. And if you get all the way to 20, you will have 5d6. And then the grand finale capstone is going to be Fiend of the Pit. At 20th level, you gain immunity to fire and poison. Also gain resistance 10 to acid and cold. And then you have these benefits constant even while not blood raging. So, my quick feedback, I think the strike effects is pretty darn cool. It doesn't have the level 20 fact where it impacts all your attacks, which is a bit of a downer. Pretty cool thematically. The only thing, you know, the demonic aura had like a AoE, or the Abyssal had like an AoE damage you did, and a lot of these have had you transform into forms. This does not have it, so I'm a little torn on it. I don't think it's quite as cool as the Draconic, Arcane, or Abyssal Bloodlines, but it's still very, very thematic. Obviously, I'm sure the wings are going to be really, really cool. And, you know, Fireball is a pretty amazing spell, so getting that as a bonus spell is pretty cool too. Alright, so that is the Infernal Bloodline. Alright, so next we get Serpentine Bloodline as the penultimate Bloodline option. When you Blood Rage, Serpentine nature infuses you with vicious grace. So bonus feats, combat casting, combat reflexes, deceitful, lightning reflexes, improved trip, combat expertise, and toughness. And as we'll see, you're going to get bonus spells of Expeditious Retreat, Cat's Grace, Hold Person, and Touch of Slime. Now, in-depth progression. So, wow, okay, so they get way more levels, it looks like, of Serpentine resistances. Most have 2. They appear to have 5. So, level 1, 1 bonus to natural armor and +1 bonus saving throws against poison. And then it looks like at 8th level, you increase +1. So you get 2 natural armor, 2 bonus against poison, 3, 4. At 16, at level 20, you're going to be getting +5 natural armor and +5 saving throw against poisons. I believe as far as bonus to natural armor, just inherently, this is the highest we've seen so far, not counting any transformational bonuses. So let's see here. Next, level 1, you get Serpentine Fang. First level, you gain a bite attack, dealing 1d8 damage. So this is key because this can be in addition to your normal melee attacks, or if you're going, you know, barehanded, it's going to give you that extra attack. Additionally, you can apply poison, dealing 1 constitution damage per round for 4 rounds. The DC is equal to 10 plus half your Bloodrager level plus constitution modifier. At 8th level, excuse me, damage is increased to 1d2 constitution damage, and the duration increases to 5 rounds. That's pretty awesome. And finally, at 16th, damage increases to 1d4 constitution damage, and duration increases to 6 rounds. So theoretically, if you get perfect rolls, if the combat lasts 6 rounds, you could lower the constitution stat by 24. It's just pretty amazing. Additionally, the number of saves needed to cure from the poison increases by 2. That's pretty awesome. So, wow. So you get a save. I don't know if you have to normally save line base 1 and now it's 2 or 2 to 3. Again, if anybody knows from experience from the normal Pathfinder game, leave a comment below. So next, nothing in the first couple levels outside of those resistances, but we're going to get Expeditious Retreat at 7th, and at 8 we get Dazing Glare. 3 times per day you can try to daze an opponent in close range with a Hypnotic Glare as a swift action. The target gets a will save for resist effect, DC 10 plus half Bloodrager level plus charisma modifier. This is a mind affecting gaze effect. Bonus spell Cat's Grace comes at you at level 10. At level 12, we get Serpentine Elasticity. So you reach increases by 5 feet during Blood Rage. So this is pretty big. Especially if you get the ability, you get multiple attacks of opportunities. So if somebody's trying to disengage with you, you're going to proc that when they move away from base melee to just a little bit out, and then you can potentially, if they keep going, proc it a second time. Or again, if they come, I believe, if they even try and move sideways. I don't know if you proc this when they come into your range or not, because of that ranged. Again, if anybody knows for sure about those mechanics, if you get that, if you basically have the equivalent of like Pathfinder or D&D like halberd range, if it allows to bring it in, or if this stacks, does this mean if you already have a weapon of reach, do you have even crazier reach? The wording makes me believe it does, because it says your reach increases by 5 feet. It doesn't say it just gives you reach. So we'll see, but this has some potential. Bonus spell of Hold Person at 13. Bonus spell of Touch of Slime at 16. And you're going to get Serpentine Form at 16. So once per Blood Rage. So similar to... unlike, again, the Draconic one and the Abyssal one, or the Arcane one, this is not the entire time you're Blood Raging. It is only once per Blood Rage, but you get to turn into a Hydra as a free action. I really hope this is a unique graphic. It better. It may not right now in the beta, may or may not, but I mean, a freaking Hydra. +4 size bonus to strength, +2 natural bonus to constitution, +4 natural armor bonus. Now, I don't know if this stacks with your Serpentine natural armor bonus. I really hope it does. Normally, different forms of natural armor do not stack, but this would be silly if it did not, because basically it would, this effect, because at 16 you already get +4, this would do nothing for you. Again, if it stacks, awesome. If not, this is a little bit of a buzzkill, but you still get immunity to trip, 5 bite attacks at 1d8. Poison from the Serpentine Fangs applies to bite attacks and Hydra form. So you could technically, this poison effect, so at 16, you're doing 1d4 constitution damage. So I don't know if that means you just have 5 chances to apply it, or if it could proc up to 5 times. Because I mean, if you could, you could just destroy somebody's constitution. But again, we'll see how, we'll have to experiment with that. And then finally, a level 20, the capstone, is Serpentine Body. You gain immunity to poison. Additionally, you can't be caught flat-footed, don't provoke attacks of opportunity, and you have this constantly, not just while Blood Raging. So, pretty darn cool. Who would have thought that Serpentine might compete with the likes of being an elemental, a demon, a devil, or a dragon? But very, very cool flavor. There are a couple features I'm not 100% sure if they're going to stack. If they do, it will make a big, big difference. And finally, last but not least, is Undead. And I'm very curious how this may play out if, let's say, you do the mythical pass of being a necromancer, for example. You could go full on, go full undead here. So at some point in your family history, a dragon and interbred, well, just kidding. Your foul corruption of undeath is a part of you. Somewhere in the past, death became infused with your lineage. Your connection to the attribute of the undead bestows frightening power when you blood rage. When you enter a blood rage, the powers of undeath manifest, empowering your attacks of fear and your body with your foul resistances. Bonus feats of Die Hard, Dodge, Endurance, Intimidating, Prowess, Iron Will, Mobility, and Toughness. And you'll see we'll get bonus spells of Snowball. Why does that not sound very intimidating? False Life, Vampiric Touch, and Enervation. So let's take a look. More specifics. Let's see here. So we don't have a specific line of resistance up here. This is all normal. We do at level 1 get Frightful Charger. So when you hit a creature with a charge attack, the creature becomes shaken, not stirred, for a number of rounds equal to 1/2 your Bloodrager level. Minimum 1. This effect does not cause the existing shaken or frightened condition. Does not cause an existing shaken or frightened condition from the ability or another source to turn into frightening or panicked. This is a mind-affecting fear effect. Okay. Then at level 4 we get Ghost Strike. Your melee attacks are treated as if they have the Ghost Touch weapon special ability. I believe I saw this on the character I'm playing or one of the characters in the party in the beta. So Ghost Touch, I don't know if it's like anti-ethereal or it causes them to literally act as if it was a touch attack as opposed to a normal attack. Don't quote me on this, but if this is what I think it is, it's pretty cool. If anybody can just confirm, do leave a comment below. Again, to clarify for others, but has the potential to be actually quite cool. Bonus spell Snowball, in case you want to get into a snowball fight. At level 8, you get Death's Gift. You gain cold resistance. It's a negative energy resistance is 10. I don't know how much cold damage there will be in this version. I know in Kingmaker, there wasn't that much cold, relatively speaking, but negative energy resistance is always welcome. Plus, again, who knows what all the content's going to be like. You get False Life at bonus spell at level 10. And then Frightful Strike at 12. As a swift action once per Blood Rage. Okay, and this is, again, once per Blood Rage. Every time you Blood Rage. You can umpire your melee attacks with fear. For 1 round, creatures you hit, your melee attack becomes shaken. Creatures who are already shaken become frightened. Now this is very important because note, your Frightful Charger does not cause this progression. But what you can do is charge in, cause them to be shaken, and then activate your Frightful Strike, and that is going to promote it to frightened once per rage. So that first enemy you target is just going to shart themselves. Then you're going to get a level 13 Vampiric Touch as a bonus spell. And Enervation at 16. And then at 16 you also get Incorporeal Bloodrager. Once per day you can choose to become ethereal. Now I'm looking at the wording. Notice, unlike all the other ones that have the once per day, it does not say once per day while blood raging. This might be a typo, or you may be able to do this anytime. You take only half damage from magical corporeal sources, and you take no damage from non-magical weapons and objects. Now it's at level 16, so unfortunately most things will be powerful enough so they won't be doing, normal non-magical attacks. And again, magic corporeal sources. So this is very situational. In those situations where it's useful, it's very, very good. Which makes me wonder why this isn't an always-on ability when you're blood raging. Just because it's only overpowered if a tremendous amount of, enemies were to have this kind of damage. My guess is they probably just want to stay, if this is how it is in the Pathfinder, pencil and paper format, they just want to remain consistent. But this seems underwhelming compared to like dragon form, transformations, etc. And then finally, at level 20, 1 foot in a grave. 20th level, you gain immunity to cold and paralysis and sleep. Damage reduction from your damage reduction ability increased to 8. So previously, it looks like 1, 2, 3. It looks like we have damage reduction 5, so you get an extra +3. You gain +4 morale bonus on saving throws, mainly against spells and spell-like abilities cast by undead. And you have these effects constantly, even while not blood raging. So this is kind of big. Notice it does. In other iterations, it turned you into undead, which made you, for example, heal. If I remember correctly, heal from channel negative, negative energy, and then positive energy would damage you. This is not the case here. So this is just a straight up buff. Now, overall, thematically, very, very cool. The Incorporeal Bloodrager, hit or miss. But again, it's got a strong theme. I don't know as far as power rankings. It may not be one of the top ones, potentially. But very, very cool. So with that, we have now completed all of the bloodlines for Bloodragers. When I get to the sorcerer ones, I will look at those as well as part of the sorcerer deep dive, which will probably need its own video. But for now, this is it. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed this content. Again, if you want to support my tiny little fledgling channel here, like, subscribe, drop your comments. I will respond and to any questions and special requests to the best of my ability as well. Till next time, guys, this is Leeroy from Leeroy Gaming. You guys have a wonderful day.